Let's talk about the AFC North. We didn't get a chance to talk about the AFC North on Wednesday. Let's talk about the North. So we know last year the Baltimore Ravens won the division with a 14-2 record. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Pittsburgh Steelers finished 8-8 on the season. The Cleveland Browns was 6-10, and the Bengals, your Bengals, was 2-14 on the season last year. So, Clarence, what are your expectations for each team in this division?
So, what team? Okay, let's play jump ball real quick. Which team you want to talk about first?
I would say you talk about the Cleveland Browns.
All right. Let me start with Cleveland. First of all, I'm very excited that they got a young black GM and Andrew Berry, and he hired a coach in Kevin Stefanski that's good in run design plays, and Cleveland got a top running back in the league in Nick Chubb, and a nice number 2 back in Kareem Hunt. I mean, believe it or not, Kareem Hunt is actually a solidified number 1. And I just think that once Nick Chubb starts slipping, Kareem is going to be right there in the driver's seat. And you still got Odell and Jarvis Landry. That offense right there, Baker Mayfield, and that offensive line, that their team right there is loaded on the offensive side. A team that you can't forget. A team that's been bad for 17 plus years. They trying to make their first playoff appearance since 2002. And I think, believe it or not, if Cleveland start winning and they get the ball rolling, they can mess up the AFC North, really mess that up, like seriously mess that up. But I think on the defensive side, they've been taking a lot of injuries to the linebacker core in the front 7. So that's something they got to both manage on. And they get their first game against the Baltimore Ravens, and they beat the Ravens last year. I think week 4 last year. And I think they can challenge. They play division teams hard. So you really want to see what Baker Mayfield is going to do with all them weapons on that team. You want to be excited because you don't like the Bengals, but you hoping the Browns be better than the Bengals. But I think for them, Baker Mayfield, this year 3, what you can bring, what's in store? What's in store? Kevin Stefanski, Can you get with the program? We've been losing for a long time. Can you get with the program, man? Is you our future coach for the next 5 or 10 years? And Baker, is you our future quarterback for the next 10 years? Them all at stake right here in this season, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go to the next. I'm gonna go to the next team though. I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna be real short with them. Last year they could have made the playoffs, but unfortunately the Tennessee Titans they won the last game because they have a top 5 defensive team, and T.J. Watt he forced 8 forced fumbles. And I think that's very impressive coming from J.J. Watt's little brother, and he's very fast and he's short and he's very strong at it. But their defense is very strong. Micah Fitzpatrick, ever since he came over since week 3, he made that defense more powerful, even in the secondary. And like basically, Big Ben's been injured all last season, and he's the missing piece. Well, if he's back to his 2018 form where he threw over 5,000 yards, Antonio Brown had 1,500 receiving yards, I think that the Steelers is still gonna be the regular team. They still gonna be the same. But if he's not healthy, that can hurt the team a lot because that's a lot of talent on that team. So I'm gonna move on to the Baltimore Ravens.
Hold on, real quick. Let me stop you. Real quick. I want to say something. You're talking about the Browns and the Steelers both being teams that are going to be good this year. That means your Bengals are most likely going to finish last in the AFC North, my friend, right?
We don't know that. Think about it. Think about this. Cleveland defense got hit with the injury bug. Like, they lost Grant Delpit to a whole knee injury. The linebacker crew is a mess, like a mess. Mac Wilson, he's going to be out for the next 10 to 12 games. They got young linebackers that's not proven ready, though, Trey. And Myles Garrett, he hasn't practiced in a couple of days. I think he's coming back for tomorrow. He should be here for limited practice. But at the same time, that defense can kill that Browns team right there. But that Steelers team, if Big Ben is back to his regular form, as you say, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, then they should be okay. They should be fine. I keep it real. I keep it real. And I give credit when it's due. Their defense, they have a top 5 defense. And Cleveland, they don't have no top 5 defense, but Cleveland got a top offense. But you gotta give credit when it's due. But for the Baltimore Ravens, though, I want to go to Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna be real short with them too. They won 14 straight games last year. They went 14-2. Lamar Jackson, they got the best rushing attack and you just added J.K. Dobbins to that offense. Like
Yeah.
feels Mark Ingram. He has the third most 100-yard game since 2016, behind Jordan Howard and Zeke Elliott. I think if he's getting 100 yards, game, it's gonna be ugly and powerful. And the question is, can he throw the ball? Can he be more consistent throwing the pass? Lamar's talent, but in order to beat a team like the Chiefs or the Bucks, Saints, or whatever, the Seahawks, you have to throw the ball. You have to throw the ball in certain times. Now, I'm one out the final, the Cincinnati Bengals. They're very young. And you know me, I'm very excited that Joe Burrow got drafted to Cincinnati Bengals. I'm a big Bengals fan right there. And I'm not trying to be biased. I'm trying to be real in it. He is our building block. He's our building block that we're building around.
You are biased about them Bengals. Talking about the Bengals might go 9-7 on the season. You need to stop. You said that.
I'm just saying. Listen,
you're biased.
He's our building block. He's our building block of this team. And Joe Mixon is the backbone. You know, we decided to him 4 years, $48 million. He's getting 12 a year. The offense, AJ's back. Tyler Boyd, even Burrow even said him and Tyler Boyd chemistry is like phenomenal. So that can be very scary right there, Mr. Larkins. And this defense, they revamped the defense. Geno Atkins is not going to be playing Sunday, so that's going to hurt the D-line. Not as much, but they go feel it, though, what missing him. But I'm looking for somebody on that defense to step up and who could be this next superstar for us in the Cincinnati Bengals. Now the floor is yours, Mr. Larkins.
Okay, let's start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's a Super Bowl champion. He has, 2 Super Bowls on his resume. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, and he's a very, very clutch quarterback. Whenever there's a big-time clutch moment in the playoffs, Big Ben has delivered for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Steelers Nation. But Big Ben is 38 years of age. Father time is creeping up on Big Ben. So I'm not so sure Big Ben has many years left in the tank, Clarence, because he is the kind of quarterback that gets hit a lot. That's why last year, that injury that he suffered, it put him out for the entire year. Like, he's not really durable anymore. We're going to see what Big Ben has left in the tank this season. Mike Tomlin, I think Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches we have in the NFL. I think he doesn't get enough credit for the job he's done with this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Last year, even without Big Ben Roethlisberger and without Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, the Pittsburgh Steelers were still one win away from the playoffs, Clarence, and they had nobody's playing quarterback last year. They had very inconsistent quarterback play last year. Mason Rudolph, give me a break. Like, come on now. Like, they ain't had no consistent quarterback play, and here Mike Tomlin is having them in position to possibly get to the playoff game in week 17. It was amazing. But when I look at the Steelers, I'm not so sure Juju Smith-Schuster is the number one option at the receiver position. I think he's a solid number 2, but I don't think he's a great number 1 at the receiver position. But I do love the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I love Micah Fitzpatrick, on the back end for the Steelers. I love, Bud Dupree at the linebacker spot, Cameron Hayward. They got some nice players on the defensive side of the ball for the Pittsburgh Steelers. See, they have actually completely flipped their DNA as a team. Before, it was all about Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Big Ben Roethlisberger. They wanted to score a lot of points to beat you, and their defense wasn't very good. Mike Tomlin has realized that is not a winning formula. In order to win Super Bowls, defense wins Super Bowls. Now I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a championship defense. Let's get to the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns have one of the best rosters from top to bottom in the NFL. I think offensively, Baker Mayfield has a ton of weapons to distribute the football to. You got Odell Beckham, who's a star elite receiver in the NFL. You got a solid number 2 in Jarvis Landry. In free agency, they brought in Austin Hooper from the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's going to help them at the tight end spot. And then you also got in the backfield Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who they just signed to a new contract. So they're going to be around for a while. So I like the balance offensively that this team has in the Cleveland Browns. I like the fact that they let go of Freddie Kitchens because I don't think he was the right man for the job. Now they have Kevin Stefanski. And I think Kevin Stefanski is going to do a better job putting Baker Mayfield in positions to be successful this year. I think in order for the Browns to be successful, though, they have to run the football with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They don't want to have Baker Mayfield dropping back to pass 35, 40 times a game. That's a recipe for disaster for the Browns. Okay? He can't do it. I don't think Baker Mayfield is the kind of quarterback that can drop back to pass 35 or 40 times a game. I think Baker Mayfield should drop back to pass maybe 20 to 25 times at the most. You have to lean on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Now, when I look at their defense, when I look at their, I got you. Hold on now, I got you. When I look at their defense, I like Denzel Ward, as a cornerback defensively. We know they've signed Myles Garrett to a new contract extension in the offseason. So I think they can make some noise defensively as well. Now, let me get to those woeful Cincinnati Bengals of yours. I already told you, I think Joe Burrow is going to struggle this year because I think he's going to be going up against an elite defense in the Baltimore Ravens, an elite defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be tough on Joe Burrow in his rookie season because he has to learn how to be a pro, but he's also going to be under duress a lot this year. That Bengals offensive line, I still don't believe in them. I think Joe Burrow is going to be running for his life this season, Clarence. I don't know why you have these such high expectations on Joe Burrow. Like, please, lower your expectations for this brother, okay? Don't put all that pressure on that man because your team been sorry for all these years. Don't expect this man to come in and save this terrible franchise that has really, they have completely traumatized you as a sports fan. They traumatized you, bro. Like, you are traumatized to the point now where you're saying the Bengals going to be 9-7. It's not going to happen. I also don't believe in Zach Taylor. I got to see more from Zach Taylor. He hasn't proven enough for me to believe he can lead a team to the playoffs. I will admit, the Bengals did make some nice moves in free agency on the defensive side of the ball, something they haven't done in previous years. That was impressive. Now let me get to the Baltimore Ravens, who I think is the best team in this division. They were the number 1 overall seed last year in the AFC, had a 14-2 record. Lamar Jackson was the NFL MVP. I think this year Harbaugh is going to put Lamar Jackson in a position to become a more efficient passer. I don't think we're going to see Lamar Jackson, having the rushing yard statistical numbers that he had last year, Clarence. I think he's going to be more of a passer this year for the Baltimore Ravens. And I think Harbaugh wants to get him comfortable in that pocket. I actually think the Ravens got better this offseason. And I think their defense is going to be one of the best defenses we have in the NFL. So I'm looking at the Ravens as being a top team in the AFC North, and I like them drafting J.K. Dobbins. I think he's going to be a nice addition to that backfield with Mark Ingram. But again, I think Lamar Jackson is going to be in the pocket a lot more this year, and I think Harbaugh wants him to become more of a passer so he don't get injured. So that's how I'm breaking down the division.
Yeah,
let me ask you a question. Let's go to our next question. Which young quarterback has a bright future? Which young quarterback has the best future in this division? Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow?
To me, honestly, I think.
What is it there to think about? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Look at all three of these quarterbacks. They have a lot of pieces around them that can help them be successful quarterbacks in the future. But I think I do that. I believe that. Burrow, he has a nice one. Lamar has a nice set. Cleveland, the Baker Mayfield has a nice set. But I think though who has the best, who gonna be the best quarterback? The best quarterback is easily it's Burrow, baby. It's Burrow.
What?
Let me tell you why.
What?
Let me tell you why.
Oh,
let me tell you why.
Oh my! What?
Listen, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why Burrow's about to be the best quarterback ever. Because listen, he's already ahead of all these young rookies in these camps. And him walking into a situation like this, it helps us. It helps our organization gets better. And the type of quarterback he is 10 times better than Baker Mayfield. And the dual threat is coming in handy. But how long can he keep it up coming? But I think for Burrow that I see something that is different than any other rookie. He's been working his butt off right now. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious right here. I'm dead serious. And I'm not.
What's in your cup over there? Are you drinking already? It's Friday.
I'm going to say this. Lamar Jackson biggest flaw is not passing the ball up. And you think he's going to pass the ball more than more than he passed last year. And believe it or not, he got the easiest schedule, so they can really maneuver through this schedule. So it make it more easy and simple for them. But
that's why he has a brighter future. What are you talking about? Wait a minute. Okay, listen. We heard enough from you. You got to stop. Listen. The question was, which young quarterback has the best, future ahead of them between Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and Joe Burrow? And you actually going to say a player who hasn't even taken an NFL snap yet in a regular season game is going to have a better future than a player who already won an NFL MVP? Are you kidding me, bro? Wait. Here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. We're going to talk about the game here in a minute. But I'm going to just put this on the record. I'm a Deshaun Watson fan. You know this. And I've been on record saying I believe if Deshaun Watson was in Kansas City and he had the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has, I think Deshaun Watson would have similar accomplishments as Patrick Mahomes. So I was watching the game last night, right? And as I'm watching the game, although I'm a Deshaun Watson fan and I like the way Deshaun Watson competes at the quarterback position, I sat there realizing that situation matters because Patrick Mahomes is in the perfect situation in Kansas City with a great coach like Andy Reid, a great support system and supporting cast that he has, one of the best tight ends we have in the NFL in Travis Kelce. He has a top 5 receiver, arguably, in Tyreek Hill on his team. Sammy Watkins and Hartman also are nice receivers to have on your squad. And he has a nice organization backing him in the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm thinking, damn, Deshaun Watson doesn't have that with the Houston Texans. We're talking about right now, Bill O'Brien trading away one of the best receivers in the NFL and DeAndre Hopkins. I say all that to say, when it comes to who's going to have the best future between these 3 quarterbacks in the AFC North, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, or Baker Mayfield, it's easily Lamar Jackson. Why? Because Lamar Jackson has the better support system around him than Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. The Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals are 2 of the worst franchises we have in the NFL, Clarence. They haven't won a Super Bowl since neither one of them has won a Super Bowl since either one of us been born. Neither we haven't witnessed it. It hasn't happened. And for you to say that Joe Burrow is going to have a brighter future than Lamar Jackson is ridiculous.
Definitely.
Lamar Jackson is playing for a proven head coach in John Harbaugh, a proven organization in the Baltimore Ravens, an organization that has won Super Bowls. And you got the nerve to say that Joe Burrow has a brighter future ahead? You are ridiculous, bro. You need to be stopped. You need to be stopped right now. You got to take out your Bengals bias. You have to.
Think about it. Think about what Lamar. Think about Lamar is dealing with right now. That he plays this Patrick Mahomes in week 3 on a Monday night game. If he can't pass the ball downfield, the Ravens is going to be in a lot of trouble. But that's safe for a whole nother conversation when we get there.
But here's the thing, though. Lamar already proven that he can be a solid quarterback that can start for your team and lead your team to the playoffs. What the hell is Joe Burrow proving? What is he proving? Nothing.
He's a team captain. He was
a team captain. What does that mean? He's a team captain because he's led in Zoom meetings this year.
Some of his peers believe he's going to have a fantastic career because he's so talented enough. It's something that you got to bet on.
Supposed to say. They say what they're supposed to say. You say he's a captain. Why? He's a captain because he's led Zoom meetings, right? You know they've been because of the coronavirus. They've had a lot. Yes. Because of the coronavirus. Hold on now. You got to talk. Let me talk. Because of the coronavirus, we've had a lot of Zoom conference calls for these football teams this offseason. That's all he's led in. He's led in Zoom meetings. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a leader on the football field. Listen, you would have been better off. You'd have been better off saying Baker Mayfield, but he's not going. He doesn't have a brighter future over Lamar either. But I think Lamar Jackson has the better future ahead of him besides the other 2 quarterbacks.
Are you saying Baker got the better future than Burrow?
Yes.
You're ridiculous.
Yes,
You're ridiculous, man.
Because Baker Mayfield also has a better supporting cast than Joe Burrow, in my opinion. Can you really depend on AJ Green to play an entire season? Is Tyler Boyd a legit number 1 receiver if AJ Green does go down? If AJ goes down, can you depend on Tyler Boyd to be a true number 1?
Tyler Boyd has proven that he can be a true number one. I mean,
No.
what you don't understand, two
Okay.
back-to-back
Who
1K
who,
yard. And oh man,
who
think
wins?
about it.
Who wins the division?
Who wins the division?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be real honest. I think Baltimore gonna take this division. I think Baltimore gonna take this division for the simple fact that they have the best odds to even make the Super Bowl, which I think they probably won't make the Super Bowl if the Lamar can't get it going on the passing side. But I think the team that really can be right behind them and make a playoff push, it probably compete. It can be the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm
I'm
moving
telling you,
on. You're ridiculous. I'm
a
moving on.
young revamped defense. You don't realize who are the players that we just signed on our team that can help impact this defense.
It's
Just
not
don't.
happening. Y'all not going to the
It's gonna happen.
playoffs.
It's
Y'all
inedible.
4-12. Y'all be 4-12. I got the Ravens winning the
Ridiculous.
AFC North. No, I got the Bengals. I got the Ravens winning the AFC North as well. Bengals finishing 4-12 on the season. They'll be last in the division this year. I got the Ravens. Ooh, man, it's a toss-up for who finishes second between the Steelers and the Browns. I'm going back and forth. I'll give the edge slightly to the Steelers because I believe in Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the best coaches we have in the NFL. So I'm gonna get a slight edge to the Steelers to finish second. Who you got finishing second and third?
The Browns don't have no experienced coach. The coach ain't got no experience. Don't have no experience. I'm gonna tell you this: if the Bengals did miss the playoffs, if they did miss this playoff, I think they could come up in third place too. I think they're a better team than the Browns.